Jaya Gopijana Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Girivardhari Jaya Yashodanand Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ayo Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Shri Hari Ram Sankirtan, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we are very fortunate to have with us His Grace Keshav Nimai Prabhu. Keshav Prabhu did his Hare, Hare So Proji did his BTech electrical engineering from NIT Warangal. After that, Proji scored a very good rank in GATE exam. He got 11th rank out of India in GATE exam, and then he got to IISc Bangalore, one of the very best premier schools in India. In fact, it is considered to be more powerful than IITs also. Proji got into IISc Bangalore for his MTech. After MTech, Proji worked as R&D research and development been doing for very good in improving the quality of the Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare.
I will be blessed. So we are seeing Bhagavatam, fourth canto, chapter 29, talk between Narada and Nimai. Because long purport. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Ashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttam Loke Bhakti Pati Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Cha Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo. Next we are seeing from Canto 4, text chapter 29, text 37. अथात्मनो अर्धभूतस्य यथो परंपरा संस्कृतिस् तद्यवश्चेदो भक्त्या परमया गुरौ वासुदेवे भगवती भक्तियोगः समाहितः सद्रीचीनेन वैराग्यं ज्ञानं च जनयिष्यति. Please repeat. अथात्मनोऽर्धभूतस्य यतो अनर्थपरम्परा श्रुतिस्तद्यवच्छेदो भक्त्या परमया गुरौ वासुदेवे भगवती भक्तियोगसमाहितः चीनेन वैराग्यं ज्ञानं अथात्मनोऽर्धभूतस्य यतो अनर्था परम्परा श्रुतिस्तत्यवच्छेदो भक्त्या आत्मनोऽर्धभूतस्य यतो अनर्था परम्परा श्रुतिस्तदपच्छेदो मया वासुदेवे भगवत्समाहितम् आत्मनार्धभूतस्य यतो अनर्था परम्परा श्रुतिस्तच्छेदो भक्त्या परमया गुरो वासुदेवे भगवती भक्तियोगसमाहितः वैराग्यं ज्ञानं च जनयिष्यति भूतस्य अनर्था परम्परा संस्कृतेस्तद्व्यवच्छेदो भक्त्या परमया गुरो वासुदेवे भगवती भक्तियोगसमाहितः अदृश्येनेन वैराग्यं जनयिष्यति अथ therefore आत्मनः of the living Ardhutasya having his real interest yataha from which anartha of all unwanted things parampara a series one after another samskriti material existence that of that yavachchedah stopping bhaktya by devotion paramaya unalloyed guru unto the supreme lord or his representative Vasudeve Vasudeva Bhagavati the supreme personality of Godhead Bhakti Yoga devotional service Samahitaha applied Tatrichina complete Vairagyam detachment Jnanam full knowledge Cha and Janayishyati will cause to become manifest. Translation purport by Divine Prabhupada ki purport is quite big. Translation after all grades part by part. The real interest of the living entity is to get out of the chains that causes him to endure repeated birth and death. The only remedy is to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead through his representative. Unless one renders devotional service unto Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, one cannot possibly become completely detached from this material world, nor can he possibly manifest. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakhaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Gurave Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shriyuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Bhagnara Tam Tam Sajitam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanatam Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaganalita Shri Vishakhantam Namavam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharine Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripasindhubhya eva cha Titanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srila Sadi Gaurabhakta Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna. Let's celebrate the Lord to speak something worthwhile and mind pleasure of Lord. So, before speakers, there is one other program that spoke something about this context of this chapter. We are continuing the series where Nardamani is instructing Karchakari. He is just explaining about his analogy. He spoke 2 3 chapters with more details. He concluded the details and he was giving kind of summary and philosophy background to that knowledge. The whole topic is about how living entity suffers here, how the previous verses 34 and 35 explain people try so many counteractive methods, but they are unable to counteract suffering from all these kinds of methods. Give a bit analogy. Just like if a person is carrying a heavy weight on his head, like porters on the railway station, that uh, he is trying to share the load just by shifting from head to shoulder, make you temporary relief, but it's not the solution. Get rid of the suffering of carrying the weight. So that is the way we are trying to counteract by all the methods, by karma or any other method. Sukhaya karmani karoti lopo. These people are trying to do so many activities for the pleasure of experiencing the happiness. Sukhaya karmani karoti lopo. But they are unable to experience the happiness they are trying to uh, experience. They are trying to get out uh, of the activities that they want to do, but instead of that they experience misery. Instead of that, first is they don't experience happiness they are trying to, and the second on top opposite the experience anyadu paramam va vindeta bhuya ataiva dukkam. So Vidura is asking to Maitreya this question in third canto, that people want to experience the happiness, ultimate happiness, but instead of that they are experiencing only the opposite thing, misery. So what is the solution? Bhagavan Vadinnaha, please explain to us. That's what he is inquiring in the third canto. Similar question. Here also Narada Muni is explaining the same, the solutions in this chapter. How everybody is trying to get rid of this suffering and experience the ultimate happiness, but it cannot be by any other methods except bhakti. So these two verses give the solution. He is giving the nivritti for samsara. The samsara pravritti was spoken previously. How it will not be, it will not happen by any other methods. Rather, it will only increase. The measures that we take to solve the problems are themselves become the more problematic, as Prahlad Maharaj himself explains in 7th canto. So the problem, it becomes more problematic than the original problem if we take any other methods. But bhakti is the only solution. That's what Narada Muni is glorifying here. And also he is giving the way to do bhakti. The translation, it says, the only remedy is to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead through his representative. Bhaktya Paramaya Gurau. That's what the words used. And how to do bhakti and what happens by doing that bhakti is explained in the second verse. Vasudeve Bhagavati. Similar verse comes in first canto. Vasudeve Bhagavati.
Krishna consciousness and constantly engage in the devotional service of the Lord Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, here Prabhupada just summarized the solution. This is the way to become detached. The only remedy is to take to Krishna consciousness, constant engagement in devotional service. So after giving the solution, now Prabhupada starts the actual theory, how it all began. Please start.
Everyone is trying to be happy, and the process adopted to achieve that happiness is called self-interest. Unfortunately, the conditioned soul hovering within the material world does not know that his ultimate goal of self-interest is Vasudeva.
Is Vasudeva, yeah. So everything started with the self-interest or swardha. Everyone is trying to be happy, but the Prabhupada beautifully defined what is meant by self-interest. The process adopted to achieve that happiness is called self-interest. So everybody is trying to be happy, self-interest, but they are unable to know the real self-interest. Nate vidu swardha gatim hi Vishnum, Prahlad Maharaj says. So they are unable to know what is real swardha. Nate vidu swardha gatim hi Vishnum. Vishnu is the real interest of everyone, but unable to understand that real interest is Vasudeva. So because they are unable to understand the real gati, real swardha, then what happens? Continue.
Samsriti or material existence begins with the illusion bodily conception of life, and on the basis of this conception, there ensues a series of unwanted things, anarthas.
Yeah,
These
Aradhas. Because of wrong identifying the swardha, so we continue in our samsruti, material existence, because of the illusion caused by bodily conception. That identification causes the anarthas. The moment we start identifying with our body and subtle body, all the anarthas starts manifesting in our hearts. All the six anarthas, lust, anger, greed, pride, illusion, and envy, are because of the identification with the body. His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote Anuvutti commentary on Nectar of Instruction. Prabhupada writes in his Upadeshamrita also. All the urges are arising because of the identification with the body. Identification he gives at three levels: body, mind, kaya, manasa, vacha. When we are identifying with our body, with our mind, with our speech, they produce different urges accordingly. Vacho vegam, manasa, krodha vegam. He categorizes into these three categories. And he says, because we are identifying too much with the body, that's why these are all arising in our conditioned state, all these anarthas. So now what to do with these anarthas? Prabhupada says here. Continue.
These unwanted things are actually mental desires for various types of sense gratification. In this way, one accepts different types of bodies within this material world. One first has to control the mind so that the desires of the mind can be purified. This process is described in the Narada Pancharatra as
Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena vinirmalam.
Unless one purifies his mind, there is no question of getting free from the material condition, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.7.6.
Anardhopashmam sakshat bhakti yogam adhokshaje lokasya janato vidvams chakre satvat samhitam.
The material miseries of the living entity, which are superfluous to him, can be directly mitigated by the linking process of devotion service. But the mass of people do not know this, and therefore, the learned Vyasadeva compiled the Vedic literature which is in relation to the supreme truth.
Yeah, here Prabhupada defined the problem. Samsruti, we are rotating in the cycle of birth and death because of identification with the body, and which concomitantly producing all ardhan ardhas. So the main solution Prabhupada is bringing out, part of the solution is to purify the mind from all these material desires, which is the root cause. Prabhupada is identifying the root cause is material desire. Chapter 8 of Bhagavad Gita also says how we are being rotated in the cycle of birth based on our desires. Whatever we remember at the time of death, that we achieve in the next life. So the end life, what we remember is the throughout life what we do. Right? Whatever we try to remember, cultivate desires, that only will be the final result. That is a mass accumulated result. So that's how is the root cause is the desires, what we are trying to cultivate. Smarana. What is the sloka? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejatyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tad bhavita bhavitaha. What is the next verse? Antakale chamame. First he spoke about the principle. What happens? Yam yam vapi smaran. Whatever you remember, that you will achieve. But if you remember me, antakale chamameva smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastatra samshayaha. Asamshayaha, without any doubt, you will come to me. Antakale chamameva smaran muktva kalevaram. You have to remember Krishna at the end. You have to remember throughout the life. If a student has to remember in exam, he has to study all the semester. He has to study and practice. And even if you consider one day batting, what they say in colleges, at least throughout the day you have to keep on remembering, to write exam at 2 hours, right? So same principle applies. So we need to keep on practicing the remembrance of Krishna by daily chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So by that we purify our desires. The mind is purified from all these anarthas, and then we can remember at the time of death also. So that's what Prabhupada is based on scriptures he is mentioning, because it's not our own mental concoction that to purify our mind. It's based on Shastra, as Vyasadeva himself in his vision he's seen the solution for all the anarthas quoted from 1st canto, 4th chapter, 7th chapter. So this is the solution Prabhupada is bringing out. So he gives more explanation of the solution. Continue.
Anarthas, unwanted things, come down from the one bodily life to another. To get out of this entanglement, one has to take to the devotion service of Lord Vasudeva, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Guru is significant in this connection. The word Guru may be translated as heavy or the supreme. In other words, the Guru is a spiritual master. Srila Rishabhadeva advised his sons,
Guru Rana Sasyat Namochayedya Samopetam Vrityam.
One should not take up the post of spiritual master unless he is able to lead his disciple from the cycle of birth and death.
Yeah, how to apply the process of Anardhopshamam Sakshat? Vyasadeva wrote, compiled all the literature, definitely. So can I take up on my own and do the process? Can I get out of it? I have medical books in the market. I can buy, I can read on my own. I know English language. I can read and I can become a doctor. What is the problem? Is there any problem? There is a problem. Patients will not come to me. Nobody will come to me because I don't have any authorized certificate that this fellow can cure me or whatever he does, any surgery. I don't know whether I will live after the surgery. You will have a lot of doubts. So I cannot do on my own. That's why Krishna is strongly recommending, emphasizing that tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. One should approach spiritual master. Otherwise, there is no question of any liberation on my own strength. Though I may have all the literature accessible on the website, on the internet. So Prabhupada is going details explaining how that Bhaktya Paramaya Guru is explaining that we need to approach a spiritual master. And Prabhupada mentioned here the Guru Nasasya. As Guru, the word heavy or the supreme is explained here, is giving a other side of responsibility. How if one at all becomes a spiritual master, what is his responsibility? He is explaining Guru Nasasyat. One should not become a guru unless he has the ability and capacity to deliver the dependent or the surrendered disciple. So this is the responsibility of guru, definitely. It doesn't mean that a disciple become a vagabond, that okay, I took initiation and now I am done with all other things. I can do anything. No. There are the responsibilities of a guru and responsibility of a disciple. The disciple has to show his nishtha, guru nishtha, and is trying to follow the instructions of spiritual master and dedicated to his service. So that the great responsibility of the disciple. So then only the process work. It's not a one-way process. There has to be potent seed and fertile ground. Both has to be there. The spiritual master gives the potent seed, and the disciple has to have the fertile ground. He has to make his heart a fertile ground to and pour water every day to the seed of the spiritual master given the seed. Then only the Bhaktilata beej will grow. So Shavanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam is compared to water, that we nourish the Bhaktilata beej. ब्रह्मांडे भ्रमिते को न भाग्यवान अजीव Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beej. So by the mercy of Guru and Krishna, he receives the Bhakti Lata Beej. Mali hoya sei bija kare aropan Shravana Kirtana Jale Karaya Sinchan. So after receiving the beej, the seed, one has to become like a Vanamali. Mali hoya sei bija kare aropan. We have to sow in the heart of the field. And then this is done. Once we sow, we are done with the process. It will automatically grow. No. Shravana Kirtana Jale Karaya Sinchan. We need to pour every day on the seed. We need to pour Shravana Kirtan waters. Then Bhakti Lata starts growing. And even then also he has a great responsibility. What will happen? We keep on pouring the water. It will grow automatically. Yeah, it will grow by pouring water. But many things, other things also keep on coming out. Just like in a normal planting seed. If you plant a seed and pour water, the plant starts growing. But many other things keep on growing also next to the plant. So there are many other weeds will start growing. And also it has to be, initially it has to be protected by the fencing process. Otherwise, any animal that is growing on the roadside or children walk by and they going to school, they just by playing, pick up and throw it on the plant. So many things can happen. So we need to be careful, fence it, at the same time fertilize it properly, the Bhaktilata beej. So there are many anardhas. We need to anardhopashamam sakshat. We need to keep on uprooting all anardhas that they are sprouting at the various levels of the growth of Bhaktilata bija. At various levels, we need to be constantly monitoring and plucking out all the anardhas. That will happen only by focusing on Guru Nishtha and keeping on our responsibilities with Guru Nishtha. What else we have? The famous example of our Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who showed such a Guru Nishtha, the firm fixity on the instructions of spiritual master, that he was inspired by the famous purport by Srila Vishnuachakra Thakur in his Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhir Ekeha Kurunandana verse, that one should make the instructions of spiritual master as one's life and soul. So by reading that, he solidified his conviction in his spiritual master in execution of his instructions to his spiritual master, and we can see the result of that. So that is the only way to grow in spiritual life, to fixity in spiritual master instructions. And we can see the current examples also. The shining example is His Grace Nimai Prabhu, Anandamai Prabhu, who is firmly fixed in executing the instruction of spiritual master from last 50 to more than 50 years. Can you imagine? Let us suppose one of us asked to go to Russia or China and stay there, and you are supposed to carry on the mission. You don't know the language. Your climate is entirely different. Your eating habits are different. Your culture is different. Everything is different. But still he is fixed up here from last 50 years to continue the mission of Prabhupada, instructions of Prabhupada, carrying on the mission all the while, whatever it may happen. So that is the fixity and nishtha one should develop in the instructions of spiritual master to go ahead in spiritual life and achieve success in spiritual life. That is what Prabhupada is emphasizing here, that bhaktya paramaya guru, one should execute the instructions of spiritual master. Yeah, continue.
Material existence is actually a chain of action and reaction brought about by different types of fruitive activities. This is the cause of birth and death. One can stop this process only by engaging oneself in the service of Vasudeva.
Yeah, here Prabhupada is third time emphasizing the solution. First, he summarized the solution in only remedy is the Krishna consciousness. In between, he mentioned Krishna consciousness is the only solution. Again, he is mentioning here that one can stop this process by engaging in the service of Vasudeva. Now he starts explaining about the second verse, Vasudeva Bhagavati, how by doing bhakti to Vasudeva, what will happen. So that is explained in this in the second verse, and Prabhupada start explaining here the bhakti yoga word. Yeah.
Bhakti refers to those activities performed in service of Lord Vasudeva. Because Lord Vasudeva is the supreme, one should engage oneself in his service, not in the service of the demigods.
Yeah, Vasudeva Bhagavati, only to Vasudeva, not to others. Vasudeva Bhagavati. Yeah, Bhakti Yoga Prajita, he explains about Bhakti Yoga now. Continue.
Devotional service begins from the neophyte stage, the stage of observing the rules and regulations, and extends to the point of spontaneous loving service to the Lord. The purpose of all stages is to satisfy Lord Vasudeva.
Yeah, so Bhakti Yoga starts with the sadhana bhakti, that is neophyte stage of observing rules and regulations, sadhana bhakti, and it grows and grows as we are pouring water onto the root of Bhaktilata beach. It starts growing and growing and growing. It comes to a point of Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajana Kriya, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem. That Prema Bhakti extends to the point of spontaneous loving service to the Lord, Prema Bhakti. So that is the ultimate goal of everyone. Every day we recite after 10 Namapradas. The ultimate success is, which is to achieve Krishna Prem, the Prema Bhakti. That is the ultimate goal. Yeah, how it is advancing complete.
When one is perfectly advanced in the devotion service of Vasudeva, one becomes completely detached from the service of the body. That is his designated position in material existence. After becoming so detached, one becomes actually perfect in knowledge and engages perfectly in the service of Lord Vasudeva.
Yeah, here the symptoms are explained. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prajita Janati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Chadya Haitukam. Now If you are practicing devotional service very nicely and perfectly, it should result in detachment. Just like example is given when you are eating, when you are hungry and when you are eating, the result should be three results are explained. That when you are hungry and when you are start taking your prasad, first is you start experiencing the pleasure, the taste of the delicacy, and then you are nourished. Tushti, pushti, kshudapaya. Kshudapaya is mitigation of the hunger, detachment from all the material things, and pushti, nourishment of the body in due course of time. That is paresha anubhava, is the experience of the Supreme Lord, and tushti, the pleasure, the devotion is experienced. So one of the main symptom has to be detached from the material things. Just like if you are climbing a mountain, you are the advancement is seen that you are going away from the ground, right? No, that is the actual advancement. Wherever you are climbing, from this side or that side, Tirumala hill, if you are climbing, either you are going from Shivarimettu or you are going from Alipiri, wherever, whatever path you take, the advancement is seen that you are going away from the ground and you are trying to reach the Lord. So the moment the advancement is seen that the more you are going away from the material sense gratification or detachment from all the material things and going towards the spiritual thing, that should be the advancement. So the detachment has to be seen from the material things. That's why Prabhupada is used here. Perfectly advanced in devotional service is completely detached. If you are partially advanced and we are partially detached, if you are barely advanced, we are only barely detached from material sense gratification. So we can see on ourselves. Prabhupada mentions there is no anyone else to give certificate that you are advancing in your devotional service. On ourselves we can ourselves see on our advancement. Our self certification can be seen in our advancement in devotional service. So these two are things are explained. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Parijata. Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chadyahaitukam. And also it develops knowledge, as Prabhupada mentioning. One becomes actually perfect in knowledge and engages perfectly in service of Lord Vasudeva. Prabhupada explains this knowledge means, perfect in knowledge means you understand your own Swarupa. That's why he is giving quotations from Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jiver Swarupa Hare Krishna Nityadas. Every living entity is by constitutional position an eternal servant of Krishna. As soon as one engages in the service of Lord Vasudeva, he attains his normal constitutional position. This position is called the liberated stage.
Continue. Muktirhityanadharupam sarupena vyavastitihi.
In the liberated stage, one is situated in his original Krishna conscious position. He gives up all engagements in the service of matter, engagements concocted under the names of social service, national service, community service, dog service, automobile service, and so many other services conducted under the illusion of I and mine. As explained in the second chapter of first canto,
Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chadyahaitukam.
by rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Thus, one must engage in the service of Vasudeva without material desire, mental speculation, or futile activity.
Yeah, so he is Prabhupada unique purports. One should not engage in concocted service of dog service, automobile service, and so many other services conducted under illusion of I and mine. Automobile service, every day morning they keep on washing their cars or washing their vans and whatever. Definitely, if it is a temple vehicle, we can serve. But it is not under the illusion of I and mine. It is under the divine illusion of it's Krishna's property. Yogamaya. So this is the end of perfection, where we understand our constitutional position that I am servant of the Lord, and I engage in the service of Vasudeva in my perfect position, giving up the uh, illusion that I am the enjoyer, I am the proprietor, I am the controller, and I am the servant of the Lord, servant of servants. In that mood, he is rendering service. That is the perfection. That is the perfection is available now also. Even in the conditioned stage also, it's available. And we are given that opportunity by the mercy of all the acharyas, and we can practice that one and to achieve the perfection in the spiritual world. That's why Prabhupada always mentions this is the means and the ends. Both Krishna consciousness is the process, both the means and the ends. It's like a ripened and a raw mango. It's both mango only. At any stage, it's mango only. It's not. It's not. It's a different fruit. It's only mango, but it's only experience is different when you keep on practicing under the sunshine, under the warmth of the sunshine. When you are experiencing or practicing, the mango become ripened and ripened more and more, and become sweeter and sweeter day by day. So that's the experience will change of the mango. So today is also great Vaishnava's disappearance day, and also appearance day of Mother Janava, and the disappearance day of Sri Madhu Pandit Goswami, and also Mother Sita appearance day. So just to uh, be enlivened by their association. So Mother Sita also been commented by the acharyas of Shiva Vaishnava Sampradaya that she is compared to Jiva, as His Grace Sonagaram Prabhu was sharing to me, that the Hanuman is compared to like Guru, as Bhaktya Paramaya Guru. The spiritual master gives the instruction and glorifies the Lord and delivers the living entity. So similarly, Mother Sita, when she was present in the Ashoka one, Hanuman jumped from this side to that side of the ocean. He went all the way, and he was glorifying Lord Ram and in Ashoka Vatika. By that, Mother Sita was very much pleased, and she took confidence, and then we understand the further pastimes. So that's how it's explained that Jiva is delivered by the mercy of the spiritual master. So of course, one of the inspiring pastime to me in Ramayana, that how she was fixed up in the service to the Lord. So this is the events that are happening, that Lord Ram is supposed to go to forest and is preparing. And then Mother Sita said, "No, I have to come with you. There is no question." Then Lord Ram gave an argument that, see, this is my dharma to follow my dharma to my father. My father desired, and he has a vow to his wife that I go to forest 14 years, and there is no kind of vow to you that you accompany me. You've been raised in the royal palace. You are not accustomed to the forest. You please stay here 14 years. I'll come back. She says that, see, you have your dharma to your father. I agree. But I also gave my vow to my father, and my father ordered me in our marriage that whatever may happen, you should not leave service to Lord Ram. So it is my vow and my responsibility to you that wherever you are, I am there with you. So that's how Mother Sita says. And then Lord Ram agrees, okay, you can, we will go together. So that's how Mother Sita is very much determined to continue with Lord in whatever situations that he is going through, that she is willing to go through. That's how disciple also, in that sense that wherever spiritual master instructions are there, whether come winter or summer, hell or high, a disciple is there to execute the instructions of spiritual master. That is the mood of the disciple, just like the shining example of his divine grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So in that way, we can also achieve perfection. And today is also Mother Janava is also one of the leading personalities in our movement. Just after leaving the, just after our disappearance, not disappearance, unmanifested pastimes of Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya, and also the leading personalities like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and Raghunath Das Goswami. Mother Janava is kind of a leading personality of whole Vaishnava community, Gaudiya Vaishnavism. When she went to Vrindavan, almost these personalities were they also unmanifested their pastimes. So only Jiva Goswami was there. So Jiva Goswami invited her and gave a position at the top of the Gaudiya Vaishnava mission. And she very much inspired by the literatures of all the Goswamis, and she requested Jiva Goswami. She was the one who requested Goswami to send all the literature to Bengal. We will that time Bengal was very much culturally was very much inspired by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. Sankirtan movement started, but the scriptural foundation is not is very much lacking. So she thought, let us have the foundation by scriptures written by Goswamis. So she requested J. Goswami to send all the scriptures to Bengal. That's how the first book distribution party started. As you know, that J. Goswami sent with three the world acharyas. So that was our Jana Mata, and also she was very much backbone for the Keturi festival, first Gauri Purnima festival that ever happened in our history. That happened in Keturi, and she was the presiding the festival, Keturi festival. And she cooked for all the Vaishnavas during the festival, and the invitations and the Vaishnava etiquettes and Vaishnava exchanges are very much glorified in Bhakti Ratnakar. And she very much epitomized Vaishnava Seva, how to serve Vaishnavas, cooking for them, serving them. So these are all beautiful pastimes to relish in our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. And last, Madhu Pandit Prabhu, Madhu Pandit Goswami, he is one of the favorite worshippers of Shri Radha Gopinath, the Prayojana deities, Sambandha Abhidaya and Prayojan, or Abhidaya Prayojan deities. Prayojan deities is Shri Radha Gopinath. Srila Padmanabh Bhattacharya was the one who discovered the deity after Vajranabh installed 5000 years before. The three deities installed by Vajranabh, the great grandson of Krishna. But the deities were lost in due course of time. But Padmanabh Bhattacharya, who was recovered the deity of Gopinath and worshipped by Madhu Pandit Goswami. He was the one who worshipped and further continued the succession. So it was Madhu Pandit who worshipped the Rishi Radha Gopinath in the Vrindavan. And also in the connecting to the Jana Mata's pastime to Radha Gopinath. So in the same deity of Ananga Manjari who resides next to Gopinath, in that deity only she disappeared into in her last pastime. She went into the altar and she disappeared into Radha Gopinath. Ananga Manjari is next to Radha Gopinath on his left side. If you see Radha Gopinath deities, so she is considered Ananga Manjari also in Krishna's pastimes, little sister of Mother Radharani. So we seek the blessings of all the great Vaishnavas and Mother Janava and Sita Mata. So on this auspicious day, and we are grateful to His Divine Graces Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada for giving us a wonderful opportunity to practice this bhakti and to perfect our bhakti process in this lifetime. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Maybe it's already time. If you have a question, we can meet personally. Hare Krishna.